Hello everyone. So today we'll be covering Google Analytics, which is a very helpful tool for companies to track the users who are coming on their app, website, or any other platform, right? So this has been proven to really help a lot of companies, and Google Analytics gives a lot of detailed information about the users who are coming to your website. So say for example, you want to track how many users clicked a particular button, how many users watched a particular video, and so on and so forth. You'll get reports, you'll get all the information about those users. Where is the user from? So what's the demographics, age, gender, all those things, right? A lot of things you'll get from Google Analytics. So in this short tutorial, I'll just walk you through um, how Google Analytics can be helpful and how to use Google Analytics basically. What are the parameters? What are the terms involved? All right. So let's get started. First of all, I want to walk you through the funnel where Google Analytics can be very helpful to you. So when we talk about the journey of a typical user, let's say Flipkart or Amazon, right? The user lands on the website, searches for something, likes some product, adds to cart, and goes on and buys the product, right? So let's say there's a potential customer. Uh, Amazon, the Amazon app acquired the customer from some source. Let's say there was an ad on Google. The person clicked that ad and landed on the website or the app. That is acquisition. And then the customer, spent some time with the app and searched for some product or went through the offers that are there. So spend some time with the app, engaged with the app. That is engagement. Now let's say the person closes the app. uh, that is not the ideal thing that Amazon would want the customer to do, but there's always a possibility that the customer goes ahead and does not buy anything in that same session. But the person might come back after 2 or 3 days or after a few hours or minutes, right? That is retention. When the person comes back to the app, right? That is retention. And then after the person comes back, the person might go ahead and buy something, right? And that is where monetization comes into picture. The person would probably go ahead and add to cart some product, or let's say some product, and would go ahead and buy that. That is where that journey is monetized, right? The Amazon is able to monetize that user, which means that Amazon is getting some money from that user. And then the user customer turns to a regular paying customer once the person starts coming back again and again and buying stuff regularly from Amazon. So that's the typical journey of a user. And I teach this very frequently. This comes up very frequently in product management. But here, for the purpose of tracking the user journey, Google Analytics is very helpful. So Google Analytics, I'll call it GA. So GA is helpful in all these stages. It helps to understand where the users are acquired from. That covers the acquisition part. Then it also covers how long were your users engaged with the platform. Where did they spend maximum time on the website, right? Which page did they spend the maximum time, or which product details page they spent the maximum time. So which part of the website was most led to the most engagement. Similarly, it tracks retention. How many users came back within a 30-day period, how many users came back within a 7-day period, right? Things like that. That is retention. So all this information Google Analytics gives. And similarly, it also tells you how many people were monetized. Let's say 1,000 users landed on your website, right? These are 1,000 potential customers, but only 10% of them, which is 100 of them, are monetized, which essentially means that you might want to increase your monetization. More people, might want to get more people uh, into turn into regular paying customers. So this is what typically Google Analytics helps you do. And talking about the terms that are most important. So before jumping onto the Google Analytics dashboard, I'll quickly walk you through the terms that are most important, right? This is a cheat sheet. This gives an overview of all the terms that you need to understand. So, for example, acquisition might be a new term for you, which is why I first went ahead and explained that. So, how would you acquire your website visitors? That is acquisition. Alerts, let's say more than 100 users came on your website today, and you have set an alert for that threshold to whenever that threshold is uh, crossed, then you'll get an alert. That is alerts. Benchmarking. Let's say you want to compare your website's metrics with some other website's metrics. For example, you want to compare the total number of daily active users on Amazon with Flipkart, right? Let's say Flipkart is building a new website. It wants to benchmark it. It wants to compare it with a similar page for Amazon. That is benchmarking. Okay, moving to bounce rate. You might have noticed that many people just open the app once, they just visit one particular page and then leave the app, right? So the number of people who visit only one page of your website and then leave, that is bounce rate. And a high bounce rate essentially indicates that your pages are not that attractive to the user. Your pages don't have that required hook, or the users don't want to spend a lot of time on your page. Um, and if you have a high bounce rate, you may need to develop better targeted ads. Landing pages should be improved, and perhaps create better content to engage visitors to explore your website. Branded traffic you can ignore. Click. Click is nothing but the single instance of a user clicking on a link, right? Or following a web link. So, for example, I click on this button and I'll go to some other website, or I click, or I'll go to the same website in this case, but let's say I click on this button and I go to a different website. Conversion. What is conversion? So, this funnel, essentially completing this funnel is conversion, right? So, this is what occurs when you've set a goal, but and the visitor achieves that goal. The visitor completes that goal. For example, completing a purchase or submitting a contact form, clicking on a particular ad or page. These are examples of goals that you can measure. And Google Analytics helps you create customized goals. So Google Analytics dashboard is uh, has a lot of functionality, as a as many features which can be very helpful, and these features cover various parts of this funnel. All right, moving on. And then we have cookie. I'm sure all of you know what cookies are. So these help us to store user preferences. So which means that, let's say, a particular user likes only comedy movies. So that kind of a thing, all the preferences particular to a user, specific to a user, those can be stored using cookies. Then we have click-through rate. This is very widely used in data as well as product management. So what do we do here? In click-through rate, we are just talking about, let's say 100 people viewed this, let's say 100 people viewed this particular widget, right? This chatbot, let's say. And out of those 100 people, 10 people clicked on it. So the click-through rate in that case would be 10 out of 100. So how, out of the number of people who are viewing something, who are landing on that page, and number of impressions on the page, or who are just viewing that, who are seeing that button or that ad, and that comes in the denominator, and out of that number, how many are actually clicking on that, right? The number of clicks on your website divided by the number of impressions your listing gets. What is an impression? Just viewing that icon or button or feature, right? That is an impression. Now let me give you an example for Geeks for Geeks. um, let's take a particular chapter, right? Strings. Now you can see that Geeks for Geeks displays a lot of ads, right? We can find ads on this side usually. Let's say I take any random thing. Now, if I see an ad, that would be an impression, right? How many people opened this page and saw this ad, let's say. Let's say this is an ad. How many people landed on this particular page and saw this ad. Can everyone see this? Right. Okay. So this is an ad, right? This is an ad of Indian School of Business. So out of the people who landed on this page and saw this ad, how many actually clicked on it? That is CTR, click-through rate. So the numerator here is clicks, number of clicks on this item, on this ad. And the denominator here is number of impressions. How many people saw this ad? That is number of impressions. I think this is an important definition. Can everyone understand this? I mean, if there's any doubt, you can stop me and ask. Then we have custom reporting. There are custom reports that you can make in Google Analytics. This is related to that. Um, Dimensions we can discuss later. So direct traffic is very intuitive, very explicit. You can understand this from the name itself. So traffic that is visiting your website directly. Let's say where the visitor types your URL, right? Like for example, this one, vicimediainc.com. So the visitor is typing the URL directly, or let's say the user searches on Google for your website. That kind of a thing should be counted in direct traffic. Then e-commerce, you all know what is e-commerce. Engagement rate. What is engagement rate? This is the length of time a visitor spends on your website, right? How much time a visitor is spending on your website. Now, when a user lands on your website, right, that is called engagement. Now, I'm engaging with this website because I'm reading something on it, right? So I got acquired through Google. Acquisition source in this case was Google. I searched for let's say Google Analytics cheat sheet, something like that on Google. So the acquisition source was Google search engine. And engagement is basically this what I'm doing right now. I'm reading whatever is written on the website. That is engagement. Then we have entrances. uh, how did the person land on that page? Let's say I landed on this page, blog page. So that this would be counted as one entrance, right? This would be counted as one entrance, and the source would be this page. That is entrance. Entrance point, as I've already told you, would be this particular page. I click on this button and I land here, land on this page. Then we have exit rate, how many people are leaving your website, right? Percentage of visitors who leave your website. What would be the exit rate from the blog page? Now, when I exit the blog page, that would be counted as one exit. So I'm talking about a particular page. For every page, you would have different exit rates, right? So many people might, I think there would be a lot of users leaving the blog page. The exit rate would be high for the blog page. That is a possibility. So that's how we use this term. Then we have filters. Filters and funnels, I think. So you should see, I'll be sharing the links of a few YouTube videos also. You should be watching some of those videos so that you get the idea of what are reports, filters, funnels. All this technical stuff you'll only get once you see a hands-on kind of a thing, hands-on kind of video, right? So that is filters, funnels, goals. I've already told you what a goal is, right? You can set a goal. For example, let's say your goal is that users should contact you. So for that, users might go to this page on your website, and then let's see what options we have. We might want to send an email to some of these people, or we might want to reach out on LinkedIn. So whenever I click on this or this button, that would count as goal completed in this case, right? So that is conversion rate also comes into picture. How many people who visited the website, out of that number, how many people actually completed the goal that we have defined? That is goal conversion rate. Then we have goal flow impression. I've already told you. Keywords are also important. So these are mostly important for search engine optimization. So let's say you have made a website for for sports. Let's say you have made a website on football, about football. So there are specific keywords. Someone might want to search for the word soccer, and might want to land on a website similar to yours. So you should include keywords like soccer on your website, on your football website. I'm sure you would of course include the word football, but you should also include related words, similar words, which might increase the traffic on your website. That is keywords. Then we have landing page. um, Let me show you an example of landing page. Google Analytics, let's say. So the this is the landing page. Now, the page that will load just now, this is the landing page. This is not a website actually. This is a PDF. Let me. So for Wikipedia, this is for this particular website. This is the landing page. The first page that is loaded. Now, where does the user come on the website from? What is the first page that the user sees when he lands on a particular website? Now, there's this WordPress website, and this is the landing page for me because on this website, this was the first page that I saw, right? After that, I might go anywhere, right? I might go to this page, then might go to this page, or might want to go to the home page of this website, wordpress.org. But the landing page remains the same. Landing page in this case was the first one. This was the landing page. So for every user, there would be a different landing page. That is the landing page. Then what else do we have? We have metrics. I gave you some examples already. So page views can be one metric, or average visit per session duration. How many visits per session duration? This can be a metric. There can be a number of metrics. I think all of this will get clearer when you use this, when you use Google Analytics yourself. Then we have sessions. What is a session? Now, this is a session. I'm spending some time on the website. This is a session. There would be a particular time spent on the website, right? That would be the session on the website. Then we have visitors or organic traffic. You would read more about this in marketing, digital media marketing, all of that. Then we have paid traffic. Uh, what is paid traffic? Paid traffic essentially is when the users come from an ad, right? Users who come to your website from Google AdWords ads or Facebook ads, any kind of ads or other online paid ad campaigns. That is paid traffic. Then a number of page views. Uh, let's say I visit this page, right? I have visited this page. Now, the number of page views for this page would increase by one. So that is how many people view that page. That is a page view. Then I've already told you the meaning of a session. Yes, so I think this is more or less top landing page. So top, we can have top exit pages. This would have the highest exit rate in the top landing pages. So let me give you an example that I worked on recently. So let's say the home screen of an app is the top landing page usually. So whenever a user, let's say, opens the OYO app, right, or any other app, or the Amazon app, let's say, the user usually lands on the home screen first. Now, there's a possibility that the user might click on a notification and might directly land on a item details page. Like, for example, I might want to buy, let's say, football shoes. In that case, I might, get a notification that, hey, this particular item, the price has dropped, all of that, and I might click on the notification and land on a particular page. In that case, that would be my landing page. But usually, what people do is they open the app directly, and they land on the home page, home screen of the website. So that is the top landing page usually. It is the first page that user lands on. Um, right. I think this is more or less it. These are some of the important terms that we will be using in Google Analytics. This is a snapshot. Let's say I want to, these are the websites that I will be linking, that I have linked to Google Analytics. You can select a website and then you can start seeing number of users. I have not linked any website, so this is not showing anything, but you will be seeing the number of users, how many new users you have, total revenue you have generated from the website, engagement time. Then there'll be a country-wise split also. Then acquisition, how many, so acquisition, what would acquisition show you? What are the sources from where you have acquired your users, right? User acquisition, traffic acquisition. Then we'll talk about engagement. On which page are your users spending the maximum time, right? What are the most engaging pages? This will answer those kinds of questions. Um, then monetization. How many people really, converted into paying customers? How many visitors on your website converted into paying customers? What was the total revenue, total ad revenue, e-commerce revenue? Then retention. What is retention? Retention means that how many visitors are visiting your website again? How many are repeat users? Right? That is retention. So new users, let's say I have 100 new users. Out of them, 80 returned, which means that there's 80% retention. Then we can also, now this is a life cycle overview. You can also look at a user overview, which means that you'll be able to see the demographics of users. Let's say 80% of my users are from India, or let's say 80% of my users are from Delhi and 20% are from Mumbai, let's say. So that kind of a split, this demographics will show me. Then information about tech. What can be information, what can be included here? So in tech, you can have how many people visited my website from a OnePlus phone, how many people visited from a website, how many people visited from iOS, that kind of a thing, right? So this is demographics overview. How many users I had in last 30 minutes, country-wise split, city-wise split, gender, interests. All these are user demographics. For tech, I've already told you, operating system specific or mobile phone model specific, even Android version specific things. That kind of so if you can see users by operating system, by platform or device category, which browser they are using, whether they are using Chrome or Microsoft Edge, and device category. So we have all these kinds of things in Google Analytics. It is really useful. And it helps us answer some key questions, right? I'll discuss a few questions in a bit. So I've already, throughout explaining this, I have discussed a few questions that Google Analytics will help us to answer. But let me go into detail. Let me, just discuss very real life questions so that you can relate better. Before that, are there any questions till now? Um, so if there are no more questions, I'll move to the first question that Google Analytics helps me answer. So we had discussed acquisition here. I think all of you can see my screen. Yeah. So we had discussed acquisition. Where are my customers coming from? So how many of them are coming from referrals, let's say, right? Social media, again, I can see the split within the sources, social media sources like Facebook, Twitter, etc. Then what are the landing pages? What are the top landing pages that my users land on? That can be acquisition. That can be around acquisition. Then we have what keywords did visitors use to access the website? Let's say someone searched for soccer. Again, the same example. The person might land on a football website. Let's see what this helps me land on. Let's say I search for soccer news, right? So there is this particular website called Soccer News. Um, okay, this is very straightforward. Let me give a better example. So let's say I've searched for soccer. Now, what if ESPN or The Guardian did not have that keyword, soccer keyword, on their website? Then I would have not seen these ads in, I mean, these websites in the Google search results. So you need to have such keywords which are related to whatever content you have on your website. I think this makes sense, right? So you get the idea of, you get the importance of using keywords on your website. And of course, then keywords help you also improve your search engine listing, right? Uh, this website has soccer in its name only, so it is very natural. It is very obvious that it'll have a very good listing. In fact, this has the best. This has the top listing in this case. It is listed on the top. Then we can answer questions like, what site content does your audience like, so that we can see in behavior, right? We saw this, we didn't see this here. This will be, you'll have this whenever you connect a website, so you can see the behavior of users. Site content, you can see the behavior of all pages on your site. So then you can answer questions like, are users returning to the website? Now, this is totally around retention, right? So you can go to retention and see this. You can also go to audience overview, that kind of a thing. So you can again go to behavior, frequency, how frequent are your users, how recently they visited. I have a few screenshots from one of my internships at OYO, and you know all the analytics that they're really doing very powerful analytics. They're using Google Analytics for that, and the kind of data that they have is really helping them drive big decisions, like introducing some new feature, or even expanding to a new country. So all of that helps them, all of these analytics helps them power very big decisions or make strategies. So that I can probably show you some example later on. Then we have, where are the visitors exiting the website. Now let's say there's a particular page on the website which users don't like, then it's highly probable that they will leave your website on that page. So the exit rate would be really high for that page, right? So that is, you can see that in behavior, site content, and exit pages. So I'll share this PDF also with you. Um, then this is the interface. Now I don't have data on my Google Analytics portal, so you'll not be able to see this live. But for that, I would recommend you to go to a video like this one, Google Analytics tutorial for beginners. This kind of a video. I'll share some links also with you. This is the portal, like this is the homepage that you'll see. These are the sessions, right? How many users are there, how many sessions are there, page views, what is the average duration of each session. This means that how much time on average a user is spending on the website. um, this is just to make you familiar with the with the Google Analytics page. Then we have dashboards. You can create dashboards. For example, unique visitors. This means that this just counts the new users, right? The unique visitors. This will not, suppose I visit the website in the morning, and I visit the website in the evening as well. But so the unique visitors will just count me as one, but the number of sessions will count me as twice, will count me twice, because there are two sessions. I might have spent 2 minutes in the morning and 3 minutes in the evening. So it will take all of that into account. These are two separate sessions, but the number of unique visitors will just increase by one, because I'm using the same IP address in both cases. Or I'm using the same account basically. Sorry, not the IP address. I'm using the same Google account in this case. So we have other things like audience overview. I've already told you this. We can see the location specific demographics on your website. Then new versus returning users, browser, mobile overview. This can be for your for your different devices. Let's say like desktop, mobile, tablet, right? There would be the metrics would be different for all of them. Then we have acquisition, source of acquisition. Um, the person might have landed on the website through a referral or through ads, right? Through search engine optimization or social media channels like Facebook. Then we can talk about behavior overview. What is the behavior of users on your website? We can see behavior flow. We can see more information about every page on the website. Then we have landing pages, exit pages. Now, all of this would become more clear to you if you really, use Google Analytics yourself. You should have a website that you can connect it to, or I think there would be some sample demo data or something that you can use. So try that out and let me know if you face any problems or if there's anything specific you want to ask. And if you do an internship that requires you to requires you to use Google Analytics, then I think that will be really helpful because they have a lot of data also, and you can really experiment. You can learn a lot from that. So that is again a very good way to learn.